First of all, a happy 2026, even though it's already the end of January. However, a new year seems like a good time to look at the plans we have for the next few months. And an important note before we start, what's mentioned in this video are not promises, but rather things we are exploring, already working on, and may not be added if we are not happy with the result or it ends up not being feasible for the time being. Some of the things discussed in this video may not make it into the game or be pushed back to a later date. With that, let's take a look at the previous roadmap and see what made the cut. Back when we released the previous roadmap update, we had just added a new map and talked about new locations being added. And since that video, we've added a flower shop, a laundromat, a public pool, revamped fancy furniture, and the town has been decorated for different holidays. This is something we want to keep going, and we'll touch on this later in this video. We've also made more small changes down the line to improve the experience, but when it comes to vehicle speed in the city center, that's something we still want to change, but we want to focus on further performance improvements before we increase the allowed driving speed. We also talked about a school coming to Bloxburg, and while we planned to release it a little earlier, we wanted to make sure everything worked when we released, so we pushed it back a bit, and that cut into the time allocated for the second part of the UI overhaul, which we'll also touch on in this video. We're always working on improving the game, and while some issues take a bit longer than others, we do see them and we keep them in mind when planning ahead. The next update we plan on adding is the Valentine's Day update. We started splitting more updates into multiple parts, so while it looks like the update is a bit smaller at first, you actually get the same amount or more of new things added to the game, but split over multiple releases. This keeps things exciting, and we also plan on doing this for the upcoming Valentine's release. Valentine's is usually the time where we remove snow and winter-themed items and locations, and for the first time last year, we also decorated the town for Valentine's Day. And I can already tell you, the town looks so good this year. And yes, you can have a little sneak peek. A new update we plan on adding for the first time this year is Lunar New Year. This is a celebration based on the lunar calendar, and we're exploring new foods, decorations, and more. And we plan on adding this to the game in February. Again, dividing the update in two parts. Part 1 will consist of the Lunar New Year celebration, and part 2 will be a furniture drop. We're thrilled to celebrate this holiday with you guys.
Since the map update in summer 2025, we've seen a lot of feedback about how difficult it can be to find friends, other players, or even locations around the map, especially when quests or activities require you to go to certain places. To help with that, one of our plans this year is to introduce a mini-map. This map can be expanded into a full-screen map and will display players nearby, objectives, and important locations, making it much easier to navigate the new Bloxburg town without getting lost.
Not only do we plan on adding a mini-map, we also want to make transportation easier. We currently have the free bikes and the buses people can take around town, but we want to add a way to spawn vehicles you own everywhere as well. Basically, you would be able to spawn your purchased vehicles anywhere around the map. We see a lot of players ask for a walking toggle. You know the drill, you want to walk fast when you go to a location, but slow when you visit someone's house, so you don't run into or over all of their furniture. Our goal is to bring a toggle that lets you pick between different walking speeds, and with this, we would get rid of stamina when you sprint, meaning that you no longer need to recharge your stamina bar when sprinting somewhere, and you can just sprint without obstructions.
Building is a huge part of Bloxburg, and we know build mode can sometimes feel tricky or overwhelming. That's why another point in our roadmap is improving and polishing the build mode experience, as well as overhauling the entire UI. Some ideas I would love to explore include adding alignment guides, improving how build mode catalog is sorted, making building feel more interactive by adding more sounds and effects, and using more icons instead of text. We'll continue to communicate more details in the coming months.
Another request that tops a lot of people's lists is hollow gable roofs. Being able to build under a slanted roof, rather than losing space because there's no room under the roof you just placed, is something we want to tackle. So the team is exploring what is and isn't possible with this. What we would love to add is the ability to see the rooms under the roof, same thing as with hiding walls.
One piece of feedback we hear a lot is that some furniture sets feel incomplete. especially if you want to decorate larger areas using the same style. Because of this, we want to focus more this year on expanding existing furniture sets. On top of that, we're also looking into adding more item scaling and transformation options, allowing more items to be resized and adjusted. This will give you more freedom when building and open up even more possibilities when creating your dream spaces. We know that one of the biggest pieces of feedback we get from players is how long it can take to level up skills and progress at work. Because of that, we are planning to significantly reduce progression times, so you'll be able to level up much faster than you can today. This applies to both skills and jobs, meaning you'll be able to reach higher work levels and unlock items much sooner, making progression feel more rewarding and less grindy overall.
Also, for the first time ever, we plan on celebrating Easter in Bloxburg. This will be a holiday that allows you to celebrate all the fun that comes with spring and, of course, Easter. We're still exploring what that means in terms of gameplay, furniture, and how we can make it different from other holidays we already have in the game, such as Halloween and winter, but are excited to tackle this project and eat a lot of chocolate in the process. This update would replace April Fools, as we came to the conclusion that it's a lot of work to put on the team for a short amount of time, and Easter has the possibility of staying around a little longer, so that everyone can enjoy it. We still plan on doing something on our socials for April Fools, however, so make sure to follow us there for the latest and greatest.
We absolutely love seeing all the family-focused houses and roleplays created by the community. However, we have noticed that one very important family member is often missing. And after many player requests, we're excited to share that we're planning to introduce an Elder Age morph this year. Of course, we want the Elder Age to feel unique, so the plan includes adding its own walk-in animations, new items, and more. We don't have all the specifics just yet, but we'll be sure to share more details once we're ready. We really hope you enjoyed taking a look at our current roadmap. As always, everything's subject to change, but we'll keep you updated as each feature progresses. That's it for today, but let us know in the comments which part of the roadmap you're most excited to hear more about. And if you like all things Bloxburg, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. See you next time!